might be a temporary problem. Yeah. Oh well, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna catch up later. I'm not sure what's happening. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna waste more time on this. I think it's probably just a bug for today. Anyway, welcome. Sorry about the late startup. I'm gonna check back on it later. Today I am working on the step of my process that I call storyboarding. So that means that my script is finished. I am working on a new chapter of my comic. All my scripts are actually mostly done. Just maybe some tweaks here and there, but they're mostly done. But this specific chapter script is you know, is ready for storyboarding, let's say. So when that happens and I'm ready to start working on a storyboard, what I'll do is that I will show you my screen. So let me show you a little bit. So the first thing I do is if you can see, all my page are in one document, and I kind of separate the pages into the number of panels that I estimated in my script, and then I put bubbles. The bubbles, little balloons, they serve as a kind of landmark, if you will. It just tells me that I need the character to, you know, to say this at this point. So it kind of positions me, and I need to make the bubble anyway, and they are kind of part of the overall look of the page. I need to make sure that they fit with the drawing. So I pretty much put my bubble first. I think it's useful, and then I start, like, if you can see some of the pages, doing very rough drawings. I try not to go too far, because at this point stuff might switch. Stuff might very well switch around, and this is very true, especially for the couple of pages I'm working on, because I'm trying to show something a little bit complicated. If you see, I opened this page already. So the panel on the top left here is a scene where there is a podium. This is the podium here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. But yeah, so this, I just go there and show you. Okay. So, let me put on my gloves. This is a good thing, by the way. If you're having a tablet, having a glove like this, it makes a big difference. If I don't have that, my hands will kind of stick on the tablet. It's not very comfortable. This helps to make it smoother when you're drawing. This one is called a smudge guard, but I don't know if they sell them anymore, but it's pretty good. There are other available out there, I'm sure. Actually, it's also good for normal drawing too. Okay, so what I was trying to say is I have this room here, and the important element is the podium here, where one of my main character will start speaking. And the other important part is a gorgeous buffet table, and the name of this chapter is Blood Banquet. So this is pretty important element of the story. So I need these two elements to be very visible, and the way I kind of scripted it was that the room will be I want to say attacked, but it will be rushed by a group of not beggars, but people outside who are jealous of what's inside here. So what you see in the floor plan here is one of those person, but there are actually there might be a few. It's gonna start with a few and then get more and more, and they're kind of seeing this from a window up top. So that's kind of what I will need to be expressing in this drawing. But we see this room from many different angles. Here is just groups. They're just like general crowd, drawing. It's just like my two characters are here, and they're kind of looking at the room, saying how beautiful it is, and then they see this group of tough people, and that's fine. That I can position that pretty much any way I want. So I don't need to be too dependent on the layout of the room, although it needs to be consistent. On the next page, so I have a full page where Gauthier and Clara, my two main characters, they're looking at the buffet. So it's really not too impressive right now, but I'm gonna make like a mountain of food, and then there are gonna be a lot more people there, and they're all gonna look at it and be, wow, what the hell is that? And then up top, you see what I did is that I have those people watching over the scene, leaning against the window, and I wanted it wasn't obvious where they were, so I'm trying to make connections between the different panels. So what I thought of doing was you need to understand, so I'm gonna, first thing, they're gonna be dressed in a certain way, so I want this to be obvious here too, so that I'm going to use the same kind of color and style of clothing. And then what I did on the panel after that is that it's going to kind of zoom out, and then you see out of the way and you see window up top. But the problem I'm having right now is that this scene is viewed from the other side, and I'm wondering if it's going to be confusing. Because the way I saw it, there could be like a window on each side, and that's kind of where I'm a bit mixed up right now. So what I'm thinking of doing today is maybe creating a new page, and I want to kind of try to make a quick plan of the room. Maybe, as a reference, because I'm not sure how the action is going to happen. So if I look at the room from the top, you can say it's a square room. There is the podium where Alloway is. There is the buffet table. People coming in from here. And then the way I saw it, there could be like a window on each side, and then the people, they're kind of gonna break in from there. But it's very hard to make. I'm just wondering how I'm gonna make this scene. It would be better if they were only coming in from one side. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But I can't. Maybe I need to change this panel and that will solve it. Like if we see all the way from the back here and he's talking to the group, he's talking to the assembly. Maybe that's the answer, you know. So this is really what this whole step is about. It's about kind of trying to you know, make the whole story make sense in steps. So breaking out the panels and making them like connect with each other and just making it clear. It's a very difficult thing. You know, I always try to improve. It's not easy. So what I'm gonna do now is just try to make this as short as I can. This text here. So this is good. Save a little bit of space. Also, this balloon here is not very optimal, so I can use a more rounded corner one that will be better. Here. Okay, so see this balloon is all round, so it's not. I'm losing a little bit of space. I'm gonna go in and take a balloon from the previous page, one of those more square ones. It's a little bit easier to use for just when you want to save space. I find it easier to just copy paste them rather than make a new one. And if you want to know how to make new ones, if you look at 2 weeks ago, I kind of touched on that in the first part of my videos. So so I don't need this text here. So I think I saved a little bit of space. And you can always come back to it. I just want to, you know, get a real idea of how much space I have to work with. So let me just, I'll remove that. So my problem was that I needed the people to come in from the other side of the room, and I want them to show up on this panel here to make a link between where they are regarding to the scene. I think it makes it more clear. So I'm just gonna take black here. So I know it can be here. There can be the panel here. It's not as good. That's what I don't like about it. This is clear for this specific panel. If I go back to my drawing, let's say that instead of making like the window looking from the street could be here, and it could be coming in from here. And alleyway is here, the buffet is here. Would that work? So that would mean that so that's why it's important not to work your drawing too much at this stage, because often you need to redo them so that the scene makes sense. So basically, if I follow this second model here, action, the buffet will be right in front of them, which makes sense actually, and then alleyway would be on the left of them. So that when we are in this scene, I can make in a profile and then see them on a, it just would need to be a profile. But then you would need to be looking outwards, and that doesn't work. So if I have my podium on the other side here, and then for this panel we can have a viewpoint like this, so we are going to see the window with people and alleyway. For the first panel, the viewpoint would be like this. This wouldn't be there, so we can see this and this. So does it make sense with here? So the buffet is on okay, so yeah, so I think I can work it by just switching these two, which would be nice. Okay, so let's say I erase this. So this is a buffet, and then it can be bigger, more luxurious with some, I don't know, chocolate fountain. I don't know. And then alleyway will be here. It kind of makes sense that they would put the buffet right in front of the window so that people can see it very clearly. Welcome to TC. Okay, so alleyway is on the right, buffet is in front. All that works here. So for this scene here, I would need to lay it out a little bit differently as well. Where is that? If I want them to so I want them to look at the buffet. Buffets here. That makes it a little bit easier. So the room is like kind of like this. Like this. The window with people is here, and I can maybe play it so that I can see them. And then there is the podium here with alloy. Okay. And E is supposed to be going up to it. Could say hello to the people. This can be moved much more like this, much lower. I don't like this composition as much as I like this one though, but maybe I can make it work. So what I did here is I made perspective rulers for the previous scene, because often it might be a lack of experience on my part, but it's difficult to position elements. It might work in a sketch, but once you try to put them in perspective, there's some stuff you might have overlooked. So what I'm trying to do here is have the table in the front like this. I'm gonna duplicate this. Don't want to completely lose what I had before. So let me see. The room will be, let's say like this, and this the horizon may be lower, and then this guy here, this guy here. Ah, no. Here. Okay. So this needs to be more here. So Alloway will be using this here, and then my table, the food will be like this. I kind of like to travel the guide to see how the food will be placed. If I follow my original drawing, it would be like that. If I lower the horizon, it makes more sense. Because I want to ideally be able to see the window up top. So I might not be going far enough. Okay, let me try to put some lines on this, see how it works. Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm looking at Facebook now and it never connected for some reason. I just want to share the link. All right. Okay, so now I was drawing the table needs to be fairly obvious. This will be the podium, maybe like this. Then we have the wall coming up. I can have my window. Up here. So that's where it kind of breaks down. So often with perspective, you get these weird angles here. Although the top is still good, so what I can do is lower everything and try to see if that works out better, or make this point further. So if I lower it, I think I do need to make the point further. It's gonna scrap my drawing, but it's fine. I'll keep a. That's why we work in very high level at this point, and I need to make this a bit further so that my plates here make sense. Is this point or the other point that needs to be further? Here. Let me see. Those are going to be plates of food, and I don't want them to look all bent out of proportion. I want to make sense, them to make sense. So I think like this is not too bad, because they follow these lines, right? So yeah. I think that's pretty much how much I can put it without putting this even further. And then the podium. So this is still my wall. Okay, I can have my window. The window still makes sense. Podium like this. Yeah, that kind of works, I think. So it doesn't look too bent out. Maybe the plate's a little bit. If I'm afraid that if I put this much further, this one will be extending and then it will be too much. But what I could do possibly is lower this more so that when these are getting out, they don't look as crooked. So let me see. If I take this a bit lower, and then I can raise the table actually. So I'll just redo my table. So that looks closer, and it will look closer. So yeah, okay. And then I have my row of plates like this. This plate will look a little bit weird. These look decent. across helps me to make sense of them. So yeah, this one will look a bit bent. Either I live with it or I lower my scene even more. I think I can lower it a little bit more. Like this, I think still works. And then just shut off my perspective lines, and then I can just draw freehand my characters. You know, they're gonna be, you know, overall they kind of need to be the same height as the one on the podium. So, you know, they might be maybe like this or something. And then there will be a lot more people in this scene, of course, but this is my main two characters. They probably need to be more centered because this is the line between the pages. So yeah, they would be about here. Might be able to squeeze them together a little bit more, but they're gonna see the buffet. And then up there, there's gonna be people in the window. I can make that window a little bit higher or whatever, but there's gonna be people watching over here, being hungry, and then there's gonna be out of the way, like saying, "Hello people, I'm so great," on this little podium, and there's gonna be a gorgeous feast, and then people drooling over it, like, "Oh my god, can I eat it? Can I eat it?" And then yeah, so I think that page works. So as you can see, I just spent 45 minutes just trying to figure out this panel. It's not easy. At least not for me. But yeah, okay. So I think I'm gonna keep this drawing here, just as a overall scene. DC all, in case I need it anymore. I don't think I would, but I'm just gonna keep it in case. All right. Okay, so now that made sense of this panel could make sense because I have a window over top of him now, so there could be people there as well. Or I also have the option of making him okay, so it's I think it's this one. No, this. Yeah, okay. So that's option one, and then option two would be to put him in an angle, so he's like speaking here, and then there's kind of, you can see the people crowded over there. I think that's kind of cool as well. Like he's all talking then like this, and then we see him so sure of himself and everything, and, or like this. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that one, but both work now. So great. Okay, so some guy running up to this cage. That's fine. And then he's kind of happy about it, and that's fine. I can figure that out later. It's nothing complicated. And then this panel here is what? So what I do, I always I have my little script beside me. So I'm on page 11. So it's still the same guy talking, and yeah, so I think I can make it like he's small, and then everybody's cheering, applause. Yeah. I think that's fine for now. It's not nothing too complex, so they're just gonna be, yeah. gonna have to think about it. I don't want to cut alloy either. Maybe easier. Alright, so that's done. That's fine for now. You know, you don't want to spend too much time on simple things like that. Next page. Next page, next page. What happens here? Okay. It's a simple page. You may now line up. Okay, they go to line up. Serves. Okay. It's fairly straightforward again. Okay. I'm going to refer to my little plan again. Okay. For this one, this might be a difficult one for me, like drawing a lot of people hurrying up to well, I could draw it from the top, I guess. This is the type of thing that might be a lot easier to do with animation, at least making the sense of it. So what I would try to convey is there's very little people in front of the stage and everybody's kind of hurrying up to go to eat the buffet. And then I'm gonna write a note, see if I can try to figure out a way. It might show better if you would actually see the shoving, like maybe alloy is really small there and then people are kind of shoving themselves. Like they're trying to get in front and shoving. Like and drooling a little bit and okay, looks like a Muppet now. Okay, and then the two of them are in line. It could be just the group of people, one of them saying like, there's so many people here. Not even sure this is so useful. I could make one panel with both of them and maybe not. Or I could make one large, two large, and then okay, I might change this later. I'm gonna give it some thought. For now, I think it's okay. Okay, so Otto is kind of cutting and servicing the steak. Asking if they have a right to have some, and then this last scene would be smiling and handing down a tiny little piece of steak. Tiny. All right. Oh, and it's the time fly. Oh wow! So 5 minutes ago. Actually, I haven't drawn in the last 2 days, which is very unusual for me. Yesterday we went hiking, and let me tell you, my legs are dead. So don't miss out next week on Thursday. The next chapter is actually starting to be published, so new pages will be added to my website, tfti.incorpora.com, so you can follow up the new story, and there will be a new page every 2 weeks, and it's going to be announced on social media, so you can follow there. You can also subscribe to my newsletter and get updated every month with the new content. What else is there? Of course, I love and appreciate every one of you for liking, subscribing, all that stuff. If you want to get the books, they're all available on my site. I do have a Patreon. I do have all that stuff. So I appreciate all the support you want to give to the comic and helping me make this real. So what else is there to say, really? I just keep on trucking. One thing cool is that now, with this is the chapter I'm working on, I'm past half of my ultimate goal, where I want to end the story. So the story is pretty much half drawn by now, so that's pretty amazing that I was able to reach there. There's still have to go, and that I estimate this to be another 5 years, so I'll just keep doing what I do, drawing every day almost, and that's pretty much it. I'd love to have you along for the ride, so don't hesitate to ask questions, because I am glad to answer them on these live events. I do them for you. So this I've been trying. Yeah, it's basically the reaction of people, so there'll be a lot of happy faces here on this page. And what's the last one again? Yeah, so just a crowd of people, and oh boy. A lot of humans to draw in this chapter. And I think I'm gonna end it here. So as I said, love to have you. I love to have your question. And if you have, and if you want to chat, just hit me up. I'll be glad to talk to you. So